friends, welcome back to another day of Every Bit Counts Challenge. We are just a few days away from finishing, and today is going to be a little bit different because some of the things I want to preserve still need another day or two to ripen, and some of these things I'm doing today need to be done. I've been putting them off for too long and they need to be done, and it is preserving, storing in a way. And I'm also going to be talking about Stock It September, the collaboration that I started last year, an open collab. It's back and we're just days away from starting. So I'm pretty excited to share all that with you, especially any new subscribers who may not know what Stock It September is. So welcome if you're new here. And these are just some things I've been putting off for too long and they need to be done. And they are part of preserving for winter. So they're important to get done. And this kind of gives me an excuse to get it done. So we're gonna do all these things together. The first thing we're gonna do is wipe off all our jars from our tomato soup that we made yesterday and get them marked and put away. And my pantry is a disaster right now. I started organizing it yesterday, so it's better than it was, but it needs some work. And I was watching Kate from Venison for Dinner on her Instagram yesterday, and it made me feel so much better. She did a whole reel. If I can find it, I'll link it here if I can do that. I don't even know if I can link things from Instagram on here, but I'll try. Where she talked about how there's no such thing as a clean kitchen, a clean homestead kitchen in this time of year. And she could not be more right. I totally agreed with her. It is messy. You got things everywhere. You got things curing. You got things that you just canned that are lined up that you need to wipe down and get on to your shelves. You've got produce piling up places that you need to get to. It's definitely, and let's face it, at least for me, the housework definitely takes a slide a little bit while I'm so busy doing other things. I did give my kitchen a little love yesterday, thank goodness, so I did get that done. But I figure in the next couple of weeks, especially before my parents visit, I'll have time to really give the house a top to bottom clean and organization. But right now, at this stage of life, this time of the year, things are busy, and I just identified so much with her reel, and I'm sure majority of you can identify with it too. Okay, first thing we're gonna do is we are gonna wipe off all of my tomato soup jars. So this is an important step of canning. You should give them a good wipe down because sometimes it might be a little seepage. If you have a jar break, which I did have happen yesterday, just to make sure there's no food or food particles or anything that are gonna go bad. Ugh, you'll know it if you don't do this. So we're just gonna wipe all these down. And I just have a wet cloth here that had a teeny tiny bit of soap. I don't even think it really has any soap. And they're not terrible because I don't believe I had any seepage. I see some hard water stains. But no, I don't seem to have had any siphoning. So I must have done my headspace right. I'm definitely hoping to make more tomato soup in the coming weeks to have on my shelf. Ideally, I'd like to have at least 20 jars, so I need to make at least another 12, but I'd like to have at least 20. Okay, so those are all wiped down, and then I'm going to just take a paper towel and dry off the top so I can mark them. I had a couple comments about the tomato soup, how they add cheese tortellini to their tomato soup, and I have done that, and it's delicious. You could absolutely cook up some macaroni and add it to your soup after you've heated it up. Rice, this could be a base too for so many other things. So absolutely, but I have to have the base first before I can do anything else. So we are just gonna mark these real quick. So tomato soup. And I put the year, even though I know this will probably get ate up in the next few months, but I do have some things that we don't eat as often, so it's important, and I just want to be in the habit of always putting the year. gonna get these all put away in my pantry. And we'll move on to the next thing on my to-do list that has needed to be done for a couple of weeks. And I will be showing you a tour of the pantry at the end of the Every Bit Counts challenge, so we can see everything that we made together this whole month. It's a lot. I will say my shelves are full, and maybe it gives me a little bit more time to organize it a little bit better so y'all don't see the mess. So I forgot to mention too, I did check all my lids to make sure they were all sealed. I picked up the jar by the lid to make sure, and yeah, they all sealed 100%, 4-jar lids. I haven't had any problems, so they didn't surprise me, but you know, sometimes you can occasionally still have the one who doesn't want to cooperate. So next up, we are going to get all my onions that I harvested from the garden several weeks ago. They've been curing in my garage. I just put, let's go see, I'll show you my setup that I did.
My wish is that you don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. I'm running, and you should too, and hit that subscribe button. I know what you've been asking yourself. How can I make a difference? I'm just one person.
I can make a difference, but I'm just one person.
Well, my friends, I'm here to tell you that it's free, quick, and easy. Share this video on your social media and make that difference today.
I am gonna warn you, as messy as my kitchen is, this garage room is worse. We're in the middle of renoing and organizing everything out here, so it's a bit of a mess, but I'm still gonna show you because, hey, we're friends. This is my setup that I did for my garlic and my onions this year. This is a indoor clothing rack that we use in the winter, not so much in the summer. So I set it up. These are just those, I use them usually for crocheting, but I have lots, so I was willing to, you know, sacrifice a couple. These mats that you can get and they click together. You see them in a lot of daycares and kids' rooms. We put these on top of here. I got these ones from the dollar store. So I had my white onions up here, and then down here, David just had a piece of drywall that was laying around because I needed something that would go across the top because the rest of the racks are different. They don't have as many bars going across, and that's where the red onions were. And that's where they've been curing for the last couple of weeks, and it worked great. So you want to cure them in a dry, cooler place, and just let them dry for a couple of weeks. You do not want to wash your onions because any dampness or wet will slow down the curing process, and they could also rot on you. So I just brushed off the smallest amount of dirt. Didn't want to, you know, do too much damage with a dry cloth, or just my hands actually. Dried them all off and left even this long piece here for now. This is the best I've grown on onions. So I talk a lot about my failures with the garden this year, but I had a lot of successes. I certainly did. And I'm going to try and focus on that. And my onions, this is the best I ever did for onions. Last year was my first year that I had done the best ever. Well, this year I surpassed that, and I grew bigger and more this year than I did last year. And I'm really the only one who loves onions in our house. David and the kids eat onions. They don't always know it, but they do. So we don't need a huge amount, but the onions I did grow last year, we were eating them well into February. So I hung them in my basement. Just as we're walking down into our crawl space, I put them up there where I have a lot of jars on shelves, my extra storage for jars. They did wonderful there. Like I said, months. They lasted months. So you want cool, dark place that's not gonna be wet, that can stay consistently around 55 degrees Fahrenheit. And of course you want it dark so they don't try to sprout on you or anything. And yeah, I am pretty proud of myself. These did great, all organic, very, very happy with them. So I grew the Vidalia onions, and my favorite, I call these purple. I think they're the labels, like they say red on the package, but to me this is purple, not red. I also grew these. These I love. I eat a lot of these raw. These ones, not so much. And I will tell you, cutting up a fresh onion is murder. They are very pungent the fresher they are, so be warned when you're cutting up a fresh one. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is we're gonna cut the tops of these down to about 1 inch, and we're just gonna take our scissors and cut any long pieces of root that are left, and I'm gonna brush off the rest of the dirt, okay? And then I bought these bags off of Amazon. They came as a pack of, I wanna say 5. And I have my garlic in some, and they've been in them for a while, and I love them. They are great, they're reusable, they're a cloth. I wanted to get the ones like you get in the grocery store, but there was like 300 of them, and they were, I mean, you know, I'll never have to buy anymore, but they were like $40 or $50. I can't remember. I will look up and I'll put it right here. And of course the links will be down in the description for these, the link right to Amazon for them. I want to say I paid less than 15, I think, for 5 of them. I can't remember because I did buy them a couple months ago. But what I love about them is when you want to get an onion or your garlic out, you just open up this Velcro tab right here, and there's another one for a bigger hole, and you can reach in and grab one. So, and they give the air circulation, which is very important for storing them. So yeah, so we're gonna put, I have 2 here, and I'm pretty sure I can fit all of them in each a bag. And we are just gonna get ready. Like I said, this has been on my to-do list for way too long. There's all my white onions done. And I did have 2 that have like 2 soft spots on them, which is unfortunate because they're a good size onion, but that's okay. I'm gonna throw these in the freezer, just in a Ziploc bag. And I actually have a bag of scraps. I save tops of onions, celery, carrots, celery that might be past its time for fresh eating, but great for broth. And these will all go into my chicken broth that I'm hoping to make later this week. So yeah, they won't go to waste, but it's a little disappointing that they got those soft spots. But there's one bag down. Now it's on to the purple onions. Purple onions are done, and again, I had 2 that were soft, so they're gonna go into the scrap bag in my freezer. First, I'm gonna get these hung up. Right there, that's where I have them hanging, just from hooks. And like I said, they did really great last winter, so this is where I have a lot of my jars that aren't fitting in my other space. So here's my little scrap bag. I actually have a couple of them, and I'm just gonna throw them in whole. And there's some celery in there, some onion skins, so don't throw any of those away. Those are great for your broth, chicken broth, vegetable broth, beef broth. So it says pie crust, but that's what was in here before. It's not in there now. Okay, I'm standing here and I see these. We're gonna give our infused oils a shake. So this is a couple days later, what the rose one is looking like. Chamomile one, it's getting darker in color, for sure. And the calendula. All right. And then I also, a couple of days ago, took out the chamomile and the calendula that we dehydrated. And there's more to pick. Probably won't be picking today. It's raining, or it looks like it's gonna rain. I'm not sure. I think it rained last night, and I don't like to pick them when they're wet. Okay, Stock It September. So last year was my first year that I decided to host this collaboration, and it is an open collaboration. There's no set dates for anybody. Anyone can join on any of your social medias. So there's not a lot of rules to this collaboration. There's just a couple. One, I ask that you make sure you tag me in whatever social media you're using. Well, I shouldn't say that. I am only on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Anything else I won't see, but you're more than welcome to still use them. I just won't be able to add them to the playlist or promote them to anybody if they're on other platforms. The hashtag is StockItSeptember24. Make sure you use that, again, so I can find it. And I think it's only fair that you let people know who is the host, as I am hosting. So here's the rules. The rules are, every week, you are going to take a set amount of money and specifically put that towards your pantry. I've decided this year, last year we did $10 a week. I've decided this year I'm going to go to $15. Prices have gone up even more in the last year. and just doing a little bit of, you know, investigating the last couple of weeks, knowing that this was coming. I'm not so sure I could really get the things I know I need for my pantry this month going into winter on $10 a week. I just don't think I'm going to be able to do it. So we're going to be doing $15. That's either 15 Canadian or 15 US each week. You post once a week with the hashtags and, you know, my name. And I'm going to be sharing it every Friday, just because that's easier for me. But you can share any day of the week that is comfortable for you. I ask that you be honest. If you do go over 15, please let us know. No, you know, the police aren't going to come at your door and say, hey, you broke the rules of this Stock It September collaboration. So just be honest, because I want full transparency. If you are spending 20 or 25 to get all that, you know, I don't want people thinking, wow, like I cannot get any near that for 15. So if you do happen to go over, and by all means, if you see a really good deal and you have the extra 5 or 10, go for it. Just let us know that, yeah, I did go over because this was such a great deal. I had the extra money, I had to do it. So I ask that you be honest. And stocking your pantry can be several ways. You can go to the store and buy some things, which I will be doing, some things, because I don't grow and make every single thing. You could be home canning and stocking your pantry. Again, I hope to be doing that and taking some of that money and using that towards ingredients or produce or meat or whatever you're doing, and using that in canning to stock your pantry. That absolutely, you could take your $15 and do that, or to put things in your freezer. So when I'm talking about pantry, I'm not just talking about shelf-stable things. It can be things in your freezer, things that you can, and things that you buy. And I think that's it. I think that's the only rules. Like I said, I'm not gonna have, it's not too many rules. And again, it's an open collaboration. Anyone can join, the more the merrier. I love seeing grocery hauls, any kind of hauls. I love seeing what people are buying, the deals they get. It makes me happy. It makes me happy to see people preparing their pantries for the coming winter and emergencies. We always say like the pantry is like our insurance. And we do have times where my husband does have to go part-time with his job in the reserve here, or he loses his pension that he earned, worked very hard for 30 years. So he has to go part-time, and those months it's a little lean, especially the first month he goes part-time, because it takes him a whole month to catch up with us for pay. So, you know, it can be, you know, I prepare for it, but still knowing I have my pantry to draw from, it means I don't have to buy groceries for that little bit, or the very few things we have to buy. It certainly helps. And he will be going part-time in the new year with the pantry challenge that Jessica from Three Rivers hosts too. So it always works out perfect for us for that. Yeah, it's a fun time. I loved seeing it last year. It was a huge success. You all blew me away. I was not expecting so many people to join, and I hope we beat that this year. It made me feel so wonderful. Like I said, I love seeing people be prepared. Prices have not gotten any better. Boy, that's horrible English. Prices have stayed high. They are not going lower. The deals, they're out there. They're sometimes hard to find, but they are out there. I have been already starting just because there was a couple amazing deals this last week or two, and before we went on vacation actually, like our Annie's macaroni and cheese, that's organic. It's the one we prefer to buy, and Walmart had it on for 97 cents a box. That was crazy. And I bought 10 boxes one week, and we bought 10 boxes before the sale ended. So I have 20 boxes of that. Like, that was just crazy to get. It was cheaper than the Kraft dinner. So so there are sales to be found. I've also gone through my pantry, and I know some things that we are have none of or very low of that we need to start looking for. So I'm hoping they're going on sale soon. So I already know what I need. So that might help you too. Make sure you're buying what you use. Make sure you buy what you eat. It doesn't do you any good if you're spending your money on things you're not eating, even if it is a good deal. And making sure you're buying what you need. So just kind of do a quick inventory, maybe. That's what I've been doing. And I think that's it. That is it for Stock It September. If you have any questions, you can certainly comment on this video. You can email me. My email is right here. It's also in the description. If you have any questions you want to know. I've already had a few people email asking me if I was doing it again this year, and yes, we are. So I think it's going to be a great time, and it kind of helps tie in with the Every Bit Counts challenge, everything we've been preserving and everything. There might be some things that you're low on now because you used those ingredients to can. So this is is your chance to maybe stock up on them. And hopefully we find some deals. I also have designed a thumbnail. If anyone would like to use it for Stock at September, you're more than welcome. Again, email me and I can email you the link for the thumbnail. You can use that as a background and then put yourself obviously somewhere on there, but you're more than happy to use it if you would like. And again, just email me and I will send you the link for that. That is it for today, friends. Like I said, it wasn't a lot today because I'm still waiting on some things and it's kind of yucky outside. I do have some celery I'm gonna go harvest, but you've already seen me preserve that. I'm just putting more into the freezer for soups and stews and things coming up in the winter. And maybe pick a few, some basil to start dehydrating, which you've already seen me do a couple of times. So I don't wanna share things that you've already seen. Kind of gets repetitive and boring. So we'll see you tomorrow for the next day of the Every Bit Counts Challenge. And like I said, we're just a few days away and I'm really hoping the things I want to preserve tomorrow are ready. Fingers crossed they're ready. See you tomorrow, friends.